Hello everyone, I am Dr. Supriya Mandloi from the Department of English of the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. The topic for today's session is a poem by Henry Louis Vivian Desrosiers. The title of the poem is The Harp of India. Henry Desrosiers. He was a Portuguese origin Indian poet of the early 19th century. He used to be a teacher at Hindu College in Calcutta in the decades of 1860s. Desrosiers used to promote radical ideas. He encouraged his people to question authority. So we notice in the poems of Desrosiers there is a spirit of questioning the order, the system, and trying to promote liberal thinking and free thinking. He was associated with Young Bengal movement. He is also referred as the first modern English poet in India. The Harp of India. Why hangest thou lonely on yon withered bough? Unstrung forever, must thou there remain? Thy music once was sweet, who hears it now? Why doth the breeze sigh over there in vain? Silence hath bound thee with her fatal chain. When you look at this line, or rather these lines, you notice that the poet is trying to connect with something which has been lost, the glory of India. We also notice that the poet regrets and mourns the loss of the past glory of India. Words like hangest thou lonely on yon withered bough indicate a scene of desolation. Expressions like why hangest thou lonely on yon withered bough? Such lines indicate a scene of desolation. The poet here refers to a harp which has been unstrung forever. The poet wonders, will the harp remain like this forever? The music of the harp was once sweet, but now nobody hears it. The breeze over the harp flows in vain. There is silence everywhere. In the next stanza, the poet says, neglected, mute and desolate art thou, like ruined monument on a desert plain. O many a hand more worthy far than mine, once thy harmonious chords to sweetness gave, and many a wreath for them did fame entwine. In this stanza, the poet remembers with nostalgia the poets who had been the great singers of Indian glory. He says that this harp, here now mentions that this harp is neglected, mute and desolate, like a ruined monument on a desert plain. He says that there were more hands worthy than mine that played upon this harp. That means I, as a poet, find myself incompetent when I play upon the music of India. Many more poets with promising competencies and excellence with language have sung the glory of India in voices more melodious than mine. He further says in the last stanza, of flowers still blooming on the minstrel's grave, those hands are cold, but if thy notes divine, may be by mortal wakened once again. Harp of my country, let me strike the strain. In the last stanza, there is a hope in the tone of the poet. He says that maybe today the harp may not be singing, today the music may not be produced by the harp, but if a mortal hand once again wakens the harp once again. But if thy notes divine may be by mortal wakened once again. So the poet expresses a hope that maybe one day a mortal will be able to strike the divine notes through the harp again, implying symbolically that the glory of India will once again be like the former glory which was lost because of the coming of the British rule in India. As we notice that this poem celebrates the past glory of India. It mourns over its loss because of British rule and hopes that India will once again regain its lost glory. Harp here is a symbol for the Indian poets who were earlier famous but under British rule now who are suffering. As we often see in historical literature that the Britishers and the English education introduced had done away with native languages, had strongly affected Indian culture. Introduction of Western education in a way eradicated the existing literature of India, overshadowed the existing legacy of India. So Through the medium of this poem, the poet tries to recall the great glorious past of India. He describes a harp. A harp is a musical instrument which is presented in a lousy manner or a condition. The strings were cut and no one was interested in it anymore. In a way, as if the glory of India is lost and nobody remembers the former glory. It is surrounded by silence, loneliness, and is neglected by other instruments. This signifies a strong and powerful patriotic feeling, often native towards his motherland. The cultural richness that used to be famous worldwide. The poet, the speaker may not be a native, because we know that Henry Derozio was a Portuguese born. Still, his roots were in India because he loved India more than any country of the world. The references to past minstrels who played the harp and earned fame has been strongly mentioned to connect with the past poets who sang of the great glory of India. The poet yearns with a desire to awaken the people through the eternal music of the harp. One of the major themes of the poem is the pathetic plight of the people of India under the British rule. Literature was curbed, languages were eradicated, cultural identity was being compromised. Indians were being westernized day by day. Introduction of English language, setting up of English offices, coming in of the Britishers, eradication of the former cultural identity of India, all this is deeply regretted by the poet. The poem serves as an indirect expression of patriotism. We get to know a strong patriotic feeling, as we are aware that these were the times and decades of the freedom movement. The first war of Indian independence was already won, and Indians were suddenly and surely experiencing a renaissance both in literary as well as political fields. If you look at the structure of the poem, it is a sonnet. It has mainly two sections. In the first section, the poet laments the loss of a glorious past of India, and in the second part, the poet hopes that the glory will be back. All these poems do talk about a nostalgia, there is a regret, but definitely the poet ends the poem with a tone of hope. Because as Milton says, hope lies eternal in human breast. The poet feels strongly that today something is lost, tomorrow it will be regained with full fervor. The symbolic reference to harp. It is not just a poetic tradition of India as a musical instrument. It is not just a cultural echo. It is not just a cultural ethos, but a symbol presenting the entire Indian civilization. Words like fatal chain, neglected, mute, desolate, desert plain, withered bough, ruined monuments, they suggest the sorry and debilitating condition of India due to Western impact. It is much more than just a mere sense of lost glory. It is actually a recount of the past which was glorious with a promise for a future which will be all the more glorious. Let us look at the literary devices used in the poem. The metaphor of a withered flower on a withered bough emphasizes the lost glory. The poet makes use of symbols like withered bough, which represent the physical slavery, but the root and the stem, indicating cultural heritage, remain fertile. The personification of the nation as a withered bough is strongly emphasized. There is also a personification seen in the image of silence, which is here personified as a lady who is chained. The symbolism of ruined monument and desert plain represent lost glory. And so we conclude with these last lines of the poem. If thy notes divine may be by mortal wakened once again, harp of my country, let me strike the strain. Thank you.